Alright, electronics fans, let's cut to the chase. Testing a diode with a multimeter is one of those must-know skills if you want to troubleshoot like a pro. Whether you're a beginner just starting out or a seasoned hobbyist, mastering this simple test can make your repair sessions much smoother and more efficient. Whether you're fixing an old radio, building your next Arduino project, or just poking around inside a gadget to see how it works, knowing how to check if a diode is good or bad can save you a ton of headaches. Diodes are everywhere in electronics, from power supplies to signal circuits, so this is a skill you'll use over and over again. First things first, safety. Always make sure the circuit is powered off and unplugged before you even touch anything. Electricity can be dangerous, and even a small charge left in a capacitor can give you a nasty shock or damage your multimeter. Trust me, you don't want any surprises. Take a moment to double-check that everything's off and safe to handle. Now, grab your multimeter and set it to diode test mode. If your meter doesn't have a dedicated diode setting, you can use the resistance or ohms mode, but diode mode is way more straightforward and gives you a direct reading of the voltage drop across the diode. Got it set? Good. Make sure your probes are plugged in correctly. Red to the positive terminal, black to the common or negative. Let's look at the diode. You'll see one end marked with a stripe, that's the cathode. The other end is the anode. The direction matters because a diode only lets current flow one way, like a one-way valve for electricity. For a quick check, touch the red probe to the anode and the black probe to the cathode. This is called the forward bias direction, and it's how you test if the diode is conducting properly. In diode mode, a healthy silicon diode should show a voltage drop between about 0.6 and 0.7 volts. That's the sweet spot. If you're testing a germanium diode, you might see a lower reading, around 0.2 to 0.3 volts. So keep that in mind depending on the type of diode you have. Now, reverse the probes, red to cathode, black to anode. The reading should jump to OL, or just not show anything. That means the diode is blocking current in the other direction, just like it should. This is called the reverse bias direction, and it's a key part of how diodes protect circuits. So what if you get 0 or a really low reading both ways? Sorry, but that diode's shorted. It's toast. And if you see OL or no reading both ways, the diode's open. Also bad news. Either way, the diode isn't doing its job and needs to be replaced to keep your circuit working right. Want to double check? Pop the diode out of the circuit if you can, and test again. Sometimes other components can mess with your readings if the diode's still soldered in. Testing out of circuit gives you the most accurate result, especially in complex boards where parallel paths can confuse your meter. And that's all it takes. Testing a diode is simple, but it's a skill you'll use again and again. With just a few quick steps, you can diagnose problems and keep your projects running smoothly. So next time your project's acting up, you'll know just what to do. Hit that subscribe if you found this helpful, and keep tinkering. And remember, the more you practice, the more confident you'll get with your multimeter and electronics repairs. Happy troubleshooting.